we now welcome in former Defensive Player of the Year, 2010 NBA champion, Ron Artest.
It's so good to see you.
I was going to say one of our favorites, but you're one of everyone's favorites. This is one of the most loved men around the entire NBA. I love that this documentary is coming out on Showtime. It comes out Friday, Quiet Storm, the Ron Artest story. And you cover everything. First of all, little flex there. He's like, yeah, I got Havoc in my documentary. Let me just put that in the clip. But he's not joking when he says, oh, if shots rang out and you guys just kept working. That's one of the earliest conversations you and I had about your upbringing and just sort of the fact that this isn't like just a lyric in a song, that you literally would walk around Queensbridge projects and you would be like, maybe I'm going to get shot today, maybe I'm not, because that happened to so many people you knew.
That was my cousin Capone from the group CNN, Capone and Noriega. And, you know, it was so many of these stories that when you're in the NBA, I mean, it's like you don't really want to tell all these stories. You don't want people to know, like, how you grew up and how you are. But, you know, these are things when you're 17 years old and you're 19 in the NBA. Just a couple of years ago, you was just in the streets and, you know, and you're trying to change your mindset. I remember playing against him. He was in Indiana with the, you know, and I was with the Pacers. He was with the Nets. And, you know, that whole time, it was a lot of difficulty things I was going through. And I remember just watching him. He was such a great professional, you know, getting it done, playing basketball. I remember always wanting to be, you know, like that. But I had so many other things in my head, you know, during my career.
Well, I mean, what you and I talked about a lot, and I know that your family made a big effort to get you away from this, and it took a lot of work, by the way, from your mom, was that trying to go from what you went through growing up and just staying alive to get to the point you could be in the NBA, to then all of a sudden having to adjust to being in the NBA, and you're supposed to be a professional, and you're supposed to be able to have millions of dollars, and you're supposed to be able to know how to make all these decisions in environments you've never been in before. And it's funny, you, for me, are the one that when we would talk about that early on in your career and early on in my career,
early in your career.
is the thing that kind of taught me that in a way that I've now approached every other player like that, because it is a transition that a lot of, they don't help guys with.
No, and I like, for me, it was a lot of the work you do is for the sacrifices of the people around you. Right? It's like your mom and your aunt and the people that helped you and, you know, gave you, you know, $1 when you didn't have anything. They gave you, when you was at the park all day, you was hungry. They was like, man, you gained a lot of weight. It's like, no, I just get to eat regularly now that I'm in the NBA. Why is it that you want to release this now? Why tell your story right now? And I think it's a great story, you know, but I think sometimes stepping away from the game and having that opportunity. But tell me why, and tell everybody why you want to tell the story now.
I was afraid to tell a story. I didn't want to tell a story. I have an autobiography that Phil wrote the forward to. I didn't want to do that because I want to remove myself from my career because I have so many dark moments that I don't like to remember. And when I watched the doc, I actually cried a couple times because I'm like, wow, this is my story, you know? And some Johnny Sweet from TNT said, you know, you should do this story, you know? And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this story. I said, all right, cool, I'll do it. And he just made this amazing doc, and people loved it. But, you know, I try to stay as behind the scenes as possible now. But, yeah, people said I should have done a doc, and apparently people like it.
Shout out, by the way, Johnny Sweet used to work here at ESPN, along with Colleen Dominguez, who I also know worked with you on this. I also love the fact, Jermaine O'Neal. I love the fact, too, that in this documentary, you do address the dark moments, and you talk about your journey with mental health and trying to find the right thing for you. And I think that is so important for people to hear today, too, that I know sometimes the dark moments aren't easy to see on screen.
It was not.
But I mean, we've seen with Kevin Love, we've seen with other guys, the way it helps people. DeMar DeRozan talking about what he's been through, it makes a difference. I mean, really make a difference in people's lives. So, congratulations. I think it's very brave and cool.
I can't wait. How'd she get to see it?
I'm just saying. How do you feel Spurs fans should feel about Kawhi's success in Toronto? Are they rooting for him or against him in these finals?
For one, he traveled there and he traveled at the top. But I love Kawhi. He's my favorite player. And I think you support him because he helped bring a ring. So you can't do nothing but respect that. He should always have a home in San Antonio.
That's a great point.
That's not the way it's going. That's not the way it's going. I agree. San Antonio people are very, very prideful. That's why they hate me so much. But listen, I think Kawhi, they should be happy because he is a part of the Spurs kind of system. Like, he was drafted by them. He grew up there.
Don't call him a system player, though.
He became no. He's not. He's proven that he's not a system player. But that's one of the things that I think he wanted to kind of prove to people, that he was one of the best players in the NBA regardless of systems. So I think this is a compliment to Pop and their organization that they developed this guy.
All right, before we go, we cannot let Ron leave without playing our favorite game here at The Jump. What were you thinking, Ron Artest? First up, what were you thinking, my friend, when you won Game 5 of the 2010 Western Conference Finals with that little putback?
Well, I was thinking, I was playing so bad, I was like 2 for 10. And people were telling me, no, don't shoot. So I was playing so bad, but I didn't care. I just kept playing.
Well, the buzzer's
And
about
I'm
to
just
go,
like,
so you know.
It wasn't a good shot. It was just like, it was so lucky, that shot. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
was I had to shoot it.
Yeah,
I had to shoot it.
No follow through, like
No,
nothing.
Yeah.
It was such a
There
lucky
you go.
shot.
All right, next up, I want to know, what were you thinking, and this is one of our favorite facts here at The Jump, when you pantsed Paul Pierce back in 2005?
Well, when I pants Paul, Paul was playing so well, and then I just was trying to figure out a way to stop him. And, you know, I just pulled his pants down, and he comes off the screen and still hits the 3. That's Paul Pierce for you back then.
Look at this, here we go.
Here's the video.
I couldn't stop him.
No. You have to do anything you can.
I'm trying to. I'm like, I don't know what else to do at this point. Yeah,
Oh, that's why it's so much fun.
I think we need to have, since Paul's here on The Jump sometime soon, we need to come back and have you guys have a
Yeah, I
reenactment.
love Paul.
So I have a non-video, what were you thinking? I want to know what you were thinking when you were already an NBA player and went to Circuit City and put your name down on a job application because you wanted the discount.
I was 19 years old, and you know, you have so much time on your
We used to hang out there. We used to hang out there.
Hang out
New
there.
video games, new CDs.
So you remember we came in the same time?
Yeah.
So when you can get a 50% discount on everything, come on, we making it work. I had
Amazing.
DVDs, I had stereo
Amazing.
systems.